What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video on the Mr. Investor YouTube channel. We got some VeChain news for you guys here, and I think it's a pretty good video. So, with that being said, let's just jump right in. CoinGecko here. So we dropped and we're rebounding pretty well, I'd say. We went down to I think 29,500, 29,600. Ethereum went under 1,800. Chainlink was under $14 and VeChain was at like 5.7, 5.8 cents. And you can see if you look at these charts, right, we had a steep little drop, a bottom, and now we're on the rebound up thanks to Bitcoin over $32,000 again. And you can see here that the global crypto market cap is up 8.2% and is now at 1.35 trillion. The 24-hour volume is at 90.5 billion. Bitcoin dominance 44.7. Ethereum dominance 17%, and the gas fees for Ethereum are 20 Gwei. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, you can see we're at extreme fear right now. Yesterday we were at 19, last week 21, last month 23, but we're at the lowest point of extreme fear that we have seen in quite some time here. We've been bounced around the 15 to 25 range, I'd say. Now we're at a low of 10. So we'll just have to sit here, sit tight, and see what happens. Looking at VeChain stats. The VTHO burn yesterday was at 83,000 with a total clause over 200,000. Love to see big days like that. Today we're sitting at 57,000 with a clause day of 150,000. 1.13 million accounts, and our X nodes, beloved X nodes, have been dropping. I think we've lost 8 in the last couple days or so, and I'm assuming that's because of the price decrease and the little dip we had on top of the major dip we've been having. So if you just scroll down here, ThunderX is asking for 80,000, and they did sell one at 85, that's a hefty price tag for one of those X nodes. Strength X is at 33,000, VThor X at 29,000. And just looking at the last X node events, we had a Strength upgrade to a Thunder, and then there are our destroyed Strength, 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 a VThor Strength, and a VThor X. But with that being said, let's jump into some news here. This just broke from VeChain Italia. The San Marino digital COVID certificate was showcased by Renato Grattola in the latest episode of Codice, hosted by Barbara Carfagna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, on the Italian flagship channel RAI1. Great to see national coverage for a project that sets out to bring real blockchain adoption, and we are going to watch this.
Primo caso al mondo, San Marino ha deciso di rafforzare la sicurezza del proprio Covid Pass con l'utilizzo della blockchain. Il San Marino Digital Covid Certificate è allineato agli standard tecnologici del Green Pass europeo, lo strumento entrato ufficialmente in vigore a luglio che consente ai cittadini di muoversi liberamente nell'Unione. La certificazione adottata a San Marino prevede però una garanzia in più.
Siamo abituati a pensare ai certificati, anche ai certificati vaccinali, come a dei documenti cartacei o al massimo come a versioni digitalizzate di documenti cartacei. Il San Marino Digital Covid Certificate utilizza anche una soluzione basata su una piattaforma pubblica, Vechain Tor, e sulla tecnologia NFT, che sta per token non fungibili.
Ma cosa sono gli NFT? Sono certificati che attestano l'autenticità, l'unicità e la proprietà di un oggetto digitale, che può essere un'immagine, un video, una canzone, persino un tweet. I token non fungibili vengono registrati su una blockchain e non possono essere scambiati tra loro né copiati. Non esistono due NFT uguali perché ciascuno memorizza informazioni diverse.
In pratica ogni evento, quindi una vaccinazione o l'esito di un tampone, viene associato ad un token non fungibile che contiene un codice univoco. A questo codice univoco sono associati tutti i dati che descrivono in maniera compiuta l'evento vaccinale, ad esempio. All'NFT è anche correlato in una relazione 1 a 1 uno specifico QR code che anch'esso contiene i dati relativi all'evento certificato.
So that was part 1 of the video. Part 2 is down here. We're not going to go into that. I will leave a link in the description down below, but this is, again, more exposure for this COVID certificate pass that is being built on the VeChain blockchain. So mass exposure, and it just leads to mass adoption. Hopefully that's what we're going to see with this COVID certificate. But some other news here. Vex Change, they hit 6.4 million in total value locked within a week. So it's a big congratulations to Exchange, and I think it's going to get even bigger as the time goes on and more DeFi products are on the Vexchange swap and the VeChain Tor blockchain. So congrats to Vexchange. I love to see it. We had a major announcement from VeChain today. VeChain is pleased to update the community on the latest progress and roadmap towards POA 2.0. VIP 193 is now on public testnet, unlocking the next steps towards POA 2.0 implementation and a new era of blockchain safety, scalability, and absolute finality. So they have been quiet on POA for a long time now, for a little while, and it's nice to see that we finally got a announcement and a Medium article relating to it. I'm not going to go through the article, but I will post that in the description for you guys as well. And this is the picture of the roadmap here. So you can see VIP 193 is on the test net. I like this little rocket here. That's a little interesting tidbit. I don't know. That's kind of cool. And then it goes to say that VRF-based source of randomness will then eventually be on the mainnet. Committee endorsing the process here, VIP 200 on testnet, and then it's on the mainnet later on. And then boom, we have POA 2.0. So very exciting. I know it's been delayed, but we'll see what happens. I'm hopeful at the end of August this will be live, maybe even sooner, but we'll see. This is a nice little Twitter post I saw. And the Twitter post says, now that's some detective work. If you're nervous about the carbon offset issuing or issues surrounding VET, VeChain, and VFAM, please visit the VeChain daily discussion on Reddit. Whoever this guy is, your research is greatly appreciated. So let's take a look at it. I'm sorry the guy's username is cut off here, but did anyone actually bother to read the CoinDesk NASDAQ article on Ant Group and then bother to check through to the primary sources that the article cites? Talk about FUD. The article is ridiculously misleading. And the NASDAQ article is just a syndication of the Coindesk article. To begin with, the title is in no way supported by the content, and the content is not supported by the source the article links to. The first clue that something was off should have been the city the article cited, Tianjin. The national exchange is based out of Shanghai, not Tianjin. And the source that the article links to actually says that at a seminar it was announced that Ant Group was launching the country's first carbon neutral deposit product. That's a direct quote from the article, as is this. The so-called carbon neutral depository products of AntChain refer to the application of blockchain technology to carbon neutral actions by Ant Group, using the characteristics of immutability and traceability of blockchain to reduce carbon emissions and to reduce carbon emissions and carbon emissions. That's gotta be a typo. The certification on the blockchain that the CoinDesk article teases was the seminar itself per the original source. In other words, it's PR by Ant Group about a new blockchain-based app. It is marketing and not confirmation that China is using AntChain for the national carbon exchange. And then it goes on to say this is the original source. Where CoinDesk got from that source that China releases first carbon offset on Ant Group blockchain is anyone's guess, as is where people are getting that it's confirmed that China is using Ant Group's blockchain for the national carbon exchange. So, if this turns out to be true, this is good news for VeChain. I still believe that VeChain was involved in this carbon capture and carbon marketplace, regardless of if this Ant thing is true or not. But the fact that some people are digging into this and seeing some facts come to life about it possibly not being true with this Ant chain is as big news for VeChain. So this is going to have to be a thing that we stick close to and keep an eye on, because if that's the case, then VeChain may actually have a bigger role than we really thought. Next thing here, this is D from Effort Capital, and this guy or this person has been posting up on has been on my Twitter feed lately, and he's been posting some interesting stuff. So this is a thing he posted the other day or yesterday. According to the introduction, in order to actively respond to the national double carbon goal, the textile and clothing industry has become the earliest industry in China to promote the industrial level zero carbon goal. As an important leading enterprise of Chinese national brands, Hongdou Co. Limited takes brand operation and clothing manufacturing as its advantages, actively practices the concept of green development, solemnly issued the Declaration of Carbon Neutralization of Hongdou, issued a low carbon roadmap for Hongdou Co. Limited in 2021, and strives to achieve carbon neutralization by 2041. At the same time, carbon neutrality is an important of corporate responsibility and jointly signed contracts with Kington, DNV, and International Certificate Institution. The Yangtze River Delta Carbon Research Institute, suppliers, and other units involved in the supply chain to launch the establishment of the Yangtze River Delta Carbon Neutral Clothing Supply Chain Alliance. That is a mouthful. But again, DNV is listed in here. DNV, strategic partner of Vechain, talking about carbon. I'm assuming there's a connection. It's not confirmed, speculation, but I'm assuming there has to be a connection here. He also tweeted this. This has V carbon written all over it. EU importers need to buy carbon credits in the EU representing the carbon costs if the product was produced in the EU. Good luck verifying carbon footprint across borders with a private blockchain. And he's going on. What he's saying here is that public blockchain for this instance is not necessary or is not um, recommended. It's a necessity. It's required. So who's going to be a public blockchain that's involved in this carbon marketplace? VeChain. Again, we're pulling at straws here, but this is interesting to see. And this is the article. I'm not going to dive into this. It's pretty lengthy, but I will post this in the description below for you guys. And then the last piece of news that I do want to touch on here is this is from Eisenreich, and he goes on to say VeChain and BYD. BYD has equipped all of its new vehicles with blade batteries, which have advantages over the standard lithium batteries widely used in the industry, the Chinese electric vehicle maker told Yakai today. And if you click on this, when it comes to the BYD hand that took a little more than 1 year to happen, according to the Chinese press, all electrical vehicles from that company now present blade batteries. And what's interesting about this is that from a BYD company, the Twitter, they go on to say huge breakthrough in battery technology that will redefine safety standards for the entire industry. And they just put some check marks here of what they've been able to accomplish. No test resulted in fire or exposure. Learn more, and they tagged VeChain in their tweet. So, what's coming from them? What's going on with that? We're going to have to wait and see. But that's another thing I'm going to keep my eye on. BYD. I think the partnership between VeChain and BYD is deeper than we think. And I think BYD, because that's a major car manufacturer in the East for China, is going to have a huge role in this whole carbon place. I mean, they have. Remember that the last video I put was a PowerPoint with BYD, VeChain, and DMVGL talking about this carbon stuff. So I think this runs deeper than we all really think. And the best thing we can do is just sit tight, be patient. And if we have the opportunity to accumulate more and add to our bags, then that's at least that's what I'm doing. Not financial advice, but that is what Mr. Investor is doing. But that's the video for you guys today. I will leave all of these links in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and please comment below. I respond to all comments. So until next time, we'll see you then.